My name's Jerry Gertz of Curling Zone, joined by Danielle Inglis again for the men's final. Welcome, Danielle.
Thanks for having me back, Jerry.
Got another fun game here. Team Howard, 10-0 to start the season, taking on John Epping. This is their first event together as a team this season.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a good battle out there, and great one for the viewers tonight. And it's wonderful that we do have everyone joining us from not only around Canada but also internationally. But of course, a big happy Thanksgiving to all of our Canadians. And what better way to spend it than watching curling?
Yeah, this is sort of one of these curling holidays in Canada. I know for the competitive teams, Thanksgiving is typically a weekend that most competitive curlers are on the ice playing in some sort of a spiel somewhere. And so having turkey dinner at home on Thanksgiving is pretty rare.
Yeah, you know what it is. And but you know what? The reason why we all curl is for the love of the game, and no place you'd rather be. You can always have the turkey leftovers.
Well, between games, I hacked up the turkey
Oh, did you?
and threw it on a salad, and I'm good to go.
Hey, impressive.
So Pat Jansen filling in for Team Epping this weekend. Team Epping is Brent Lang at lead. Typically, Matt Cam is at second. He is out with an injury. We had him and Jim Wilson on this morning, and bit of a scary incident for Matt Cam. He fell off a roof working. He was finishing up a job, and he'd unhooked, and he noticed a nail was missing, and so he went to put it in, and he slipped and fell, and he's lucky he didn't suffer more than minor injuries. Small wrist fracture. So cast coming off soon. But we'll see Matt back on the ice hopefully next time we see Team Epping. Wilson on this morning.
Yeah.
And
Oh, goodness. Well, wishing him a speedy recovery.
of course Ryan Fry at third, throwing here, and John Epping is the skip.
Pretty open end here to start off. We only have a couple rocks in play. It's Howard with the hammer, calling for the hidden roll here. Try to potentially generate some offense. That's a pretty tight guard there, though, so you might. I never want to call run back particularly easy, but some of the men's team, in particular, Epping's team, certainly makes them look easy.
Yeah, that's the kind of situation with a tight guard like that. You might not want to roll perfectly under that guard, because if they do make that run back and stick it, then it's their stone under their guard now. So there are times you see teams want to roll like half under a center guard or a guard for that reason, so that the run back doesn't leave it locked underneath.
Exactly. You see a hit and got maybe a piece buried, maybe edge on edge, but it's so tight that they'll play the double. All right, got them both. And
Just enough.
we are we are back to blank house.
Yeah, that shot, the short little run back there, likely a lot easier of a shot. You play it the other way, there's a real chance that if it curls up too much, you wreck on the guard.
Exactly. You know, people talk about blank hens and not liking blank hens, but to be perfectly honest, a lot of the time when you're watching, especially the men's game, Just the accuracy they have with that high hard weight. It may have been a blank end, but in the meantime, we were treated to a whole bunch of run doubles, triples, everything in order to get to that blank end. So if you watch the scoreboard, it may look not as exciting, but if you're actually watching the game, you can see a lot of great shots.
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, these ends can turn pretty quickly sometimes, and it is a part of the game where if you took it away, I think you might actually skew the imbalance of the game and skew the balance of the game with how that team with the hammer has the out to get out of the way, so the team without hammer has to play enough aggression to prevent them from just not scoring.
Yep, exactly. And these games, of course, are live streamed here on Curling Zone's Facebook page and also on the YouTube channel. Please feel free to comment, ask us your questions, and Jerry and I will try to get through as many as possible while on air. And it is not televised, but you can always hook your device up to some smart TVs or with cables. I won't be giving you the full rundown on that one on air here. But there are lots of opportunities with technology here, and kudos to Curling Zone, all the guys behind the scenes, too, for all the work that's being done to bring this live streaming to you.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward if you've got a smart TV. A lot of them now come with YouTube installed. If you just go onto YouTube, search for Curling Zone, all one word, no space, and you'll find our channel. Subscribe to us, and it'll let you know when our next streams are.
Nice to see this live curling. In what we'll call the early season now.
Yeah, typically this event, these first events of the year start in early September.
Yeah, but you know what, it's given a little extra time for a bit of a mental and physical break from the game, especially for the players on tour who are out there competing and practicing. And really, the season has just expanded so much. It's basically August through to now even May, which is a long time, and it's a lot of practice, it's a lot of travel, it's a lot of training. Mentally and physically, that can get exhausting. So there have been some benefits to it.
So blank end here in the first. Howard just gets enough to take the Epping stone out. We'll be right back after this quick break.
When I sweep with the Gold Line Fiber Light, I feel like I'm sweeping on TV.
That's life.
More surface area, better results.
It's that easy.
It's that easy.
You need to sweep for weight? You need to sweep with this.
Now, every time I curl, people ask me, what are you sweeping with?
What are you sweeping with?
What are you sweeping with?
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And it's the choice of champions.
Firehouse Subs has so many delicious quality subs. There's something for everyone. But the one that started it all more than 25 years ago was the Hook and Ladder. Piping hot and piled high with freshly sliced smoked turkey breast, honey ham, melted Monterey Jack, and loaded with the freshest toppings on a toasted roll. Try the Hook and Ladder today to find out why everyone keeps coming back again and again. The Hook and Ladder. One bite and you'll be hooked. Visit firehousesubs.ca to order online.
Glenn Howard here. I'm a proud beer store manager, one of 7,000 hardworking employees. There's been a lot of talk lately about putting beer in the corner stores. So let's talk about the beer store. We keep prices down with our efficient distribution system. We check IDs, keeping beer out of the hands of minors. We take back and recycle 87% of beer containers sold in Ontario. And we love what we do. I'm proud to say when it comes to selling beer, the beer store does it the best.
Back here, second end. Brent Lang with lead stones for Team Epping. Lang will remember for many years playing with Glenn Howard.
A fun little former teammate rivalry we have in the final here. So we did.
Of course.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. Go ahead, Danielle.
Well, I was just going to talk about how we started off the game. Team Howard having the hammer, blanked it. Team Epping looking to generate a bit of an offense here, starting with the center line guard. Now both teams looking for that roll.
Yeah, both teams starting out a little bit conservative here.
This is also something that you'll see teams do when they're still trying to figure out the ice and not exactly sure and just breaking it in, especially on curling club ice. You'll want to get a feel for what's going on. I mean, right now you can see out there without other players really out there, the ice conditions can change a bit. So getting used to that's pretty important. I just saw a bit of an uncharacteristic miss on an open hit from Team Epping, and this opens the door for Team Howard to throw a second rock into the rings about top 8. Rock just continuing to slide. It will go deep and poke out the other end too, so there's a double available. We have seen a little bit about the ice. We've seen it curl a bit more towards the board, so that's where you saw it just continuing to curl, and especially once it hits the center line. Side that Pat's throwing on right now is a bit of a straighter side, especially when you up the weight.
Yeah, we've seen that throughout the weekend here. Just not quite getting nearly the same amount of curl coming off that center aisleway as you would if you were curling towards it. So teams having to read that into their shots, putting the broom in the right place.
Well, they also have to take into consideration, of course, that it's only one sweeper. And I would say you see, especially the top teams, they've used one sweeper a little bit more frequently, especially during, we'll say 2016 with all the changes with sweeping, but a little bit since then. But you can see the second sweeper can still be part of it, helping with the communication.
Yeah, the other thing about second sweeper is that there's no trade-off here either. Like if you can't you can't give it to the other guy to finish it. So endurance is part of that at the same time too. Like in the old system, you know, somebody could take the first half and hold it and switch off to the other player to finish it. So, you know, that's certainly a consideration too.
It definitely is. And you've taken this the skips right out of the sweeping equation, period.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know, they're powerhouses for 6 feet.
Oh yeah, it's all about the sprint, not the marathon.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where all the gold is won, isn't it?
Yep, exactly.
Look at this shot. Speaking of gold.
Oh, that was a beauty of a run back. And stuck it right behind. Glenn's taking a peek to see if he can see any of it. Maybe a hair on the right side. Maybe.
Yeah, and there is the concern with being perfectly buried under your opponent's stone. If they make the run back, now you're looking at something like this.
They're looking to repeat that run back.
Yeah, I love to roll for a corner here.
Yeah, not a bad result at all. I see a guard being played by Ryan Fry. Nicely done.
Yeah, just a little bit of creep, but looks like they're still playing the run back.
It's a little tighter now, so it's definitely more makeable. And they could even roll to another corner, too, if this is done well.
They did show the proper side here, though. You know, you want to make sure the side peeking out is the side away from the corner guard.
Didn't quite remove it, but got it going, got it out of the middle, and left themselves the second corner. So potential to get a little bit of offense going. Looks like John will be trying to tuck a good chunk of this rock around into the top 8 area. Sort of beat them in there. Bit of a tricky spot in the ice. You have to wait for it to go. Once it gets to the center, it'll definitely go. See her Pat trying to carve it in behind. Finishes pretty nicely. Should have got mostly buried in behind that tight guard.
Yeah, it's up high enough that it's going to take a pretty good tap to move it behind the tee line and sit shot as well.
That looks like Glenn's going after it, though.
Yeah, it's going to take enough weight to move that back. So the risk for Glenn is to roll out into the open there.
That's a good shot of it. And they're going to take a look to see who shot after. We'll broom up.
So Epping talking about the freeze back there. Must be red as shot.
Just stopped in the nick of time. Well done. This rock is just riding the center line. But it should finish.
Brent Lang looking to give it a little finish there.
Just a kiss off.
Just too much weight.
It is weight sensitive, this ice. You up your weight a bit and it's going to run a lot straighter. I won't say it's not arena ice, but similar-ish to that idea of up your weight, run straighter.
Yeah, that's one of the things you will see on arena ice that these teams typically play on. That, even 3 feet of weight difference sometimes will be the difference in making enough curl to make that shot like that.
And a soft weight hit, going for the deuce. And that will be a steal of 1 for Team Epping in the second end to open up the scoring.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi.
I'm Sean Chang.
My name is Chris.
Hi, I'm Phil Hanna.
And I'm an RBC mortgage specialist.
I can meet you where you work, where you live, or halfway across town. Unia Mortgage Specialist.
You can find us anywhere, from here
to here, and even way over here.
But what is a mortgage specialist?
And what does a mortgage specialist do?
What does a mortgage specialist do?
What does a mortgage specialist do?
Well, to start, we understand our communities.
Whether you live in Little Portugal
or run and operate a store in Bloor West Village,
we want to understand you. We take the time to get to know each and every one of our clients.
Because we all have unique circumstances.
And we would love to get to know yours.
So, let's meet at your closest branch.
Or maybe over a cup of coffee.
So we can understand what matters to you.
We're here to support you.
And we never,
ever
leave our clients behind.
Whether you're buying your first home
or your fifth,
or even when you're looking to build your dream home.
We bring our deep understanding of the real estate landscape and our communities
together under the one team of RBC.
Para melhor atender você.
Because our goal is to help you achieve yours.
Our goal is to help you achieve yours.
And we'll work tirelessly to make your dream home a reality.
To make your dream home a reality.
Your goals and dreams deserve an expert. Come and see an RBC mortgage specialist today, where we won't leave a client behind.
Hopefully we're going to get a nice little behind the scenes look at the #2 team ranked in the world. So guys, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome. I just kind of want to get a sense of how you guys are doing right now with kind of the craziness that's been going on in the world. Obviously, a lot of curling events were canceled because of COVID-19. As a curling fan, I have totally missed watching it. I want to know how much you guys miss playing it. John, maybe I'll start with you. How much do you miss it, and what have you been doing in the meantime to keep yourself busy?
Yeah, I definitely miss it a lot. I think the big thing I miss is being with the other guys. I don't. It's actually nice seeing their faces right now because we don't get to do this very often. But for me, not a heck of a lot because everything business-wise shut down. So, trying to take up the guitar, find some courses, and hopefully start golf.
Everybody golfs, I believe.
Sort of. Yeah, I do.
Any post curling aspirations to take it to the senior tour or anything like that? How are your games?
I have full aspirations of taking it to the senior tour. I rooming with Langer and listening to him talk about golf got me absolutely fired up. So I went and bought a brand new set of clubs, got a practice membership, and we're going on a little trip together. Hopefully at the end of or the middle of July, so I'll be able to put my skills to the test there. But I'm going with we're going with 8 or 7 pretty good golfers, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna wind up dead last in the heats there too. But we'll never know. You never know. You got to dream, Natasha. You got to dream.
Right.
Welcome back here, the third end at the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard. Fun little feature there from Team Epping with one of their sponsors, Cool Bet. You can find more features on both these teams. Just search for John Epping or Team Epping on Facebook. There's Twitter as well. Team Howard also. Their own social media profile is the same as well.
We had a blank in the first end. Second end, it was Team Epping who stole. So Team Howard with the hammer in the third end. It's like John's already got a little bit of offense generated here. There is that one Howard rock in the back. It's like we're going to see a few more rocks in play. Of course, welcome when you're joining us. Please feel free to ask questions via the chat function on YouTube or in the comment section on Facebook. And Jerry, we do have a question already asking about for club play with COVID rules. We've been told that there's no sweeping behind the tee line by either team. Is that true for pro play?
No, that's not true. We're allowing the sweeper to continue through. So just to simplify things, so we're not jumping over and around the line. But again, the only player that can sweep is that player. And then I'm not certain of the Curling Canada guidelines. I know we tweaked a couple things. The second sweeper is something that for competitive play we have allowed to be around. They have to distance from the player sliding down the sheet, who is sweeping, who is the active sweeper, but they can help with judging weight, timing stones. One of the things with the players fully massed is that communication is sometimes a challenge. So we did hear that was really important to the players as well.
It's important to note too that all clubs and events, I won't say have their own rules that make most sense to their event. The level that's happening, the building, the facility, the region that the facility is in. There are so many different factors. And I'll take a moment. The Curling Canada guidelines are just that. They're guidelines, not hard and fast rules, and you have to adjust based on it. But if you haven't already read them, I highly suggest you go check them out, curling.ca/COVID-19. You can see all sorts of resources on there. To read how the guideline from Curling Canada reads is that one sweeper on all delivered stones, no relaying, which means the second sweeper taking over partway down the sheet. The player in charge of the house is not allowed to sweep under any circumstance. The skip of the non-delivering team must remain in the hack area until all stones come to rest. They are not allowed to sweep the opposition stones behind the tee line. Lessening of physical distancing restrictions would allow this guideline to be removed. So essentially,
so there is no guideline in there about the team with hammer carrying through and finishing the stones, though, is there?
Not that I'm seeing right now. Basically,
no. Okay.
And it comes down. I know I've said this on other broadcasts, but it's worth repeating. All of the guidelines and rules that are in place, all of a reason behind them, and the idea.
Yeah, the idea, Danielle, when you talk about these rules and the reason for them being put out the way they are, is so that when curlers go to a curling club and the curling club says we're following Curling Canada guidelines, there is a base set out there that we can start from. They're the basics. They're the most important considerations around the rules. And then from there, as you were going on with about following local health guidelines and then adapting these guidelines to your local, what your local health unit allows, correct?
That's exactly it. And it's important to note that throughout the season, you'll see these potentially change. And that's why you're seeing something different in Alberta than you are in Ontario. And again, these things can change.
Yeah, I would suggest that we weren't even sure we were going to be allowed to run this weekend based on current guidelines in Ontario. We reviewed everything, we followed the guidelines. We continued to tighten up our interactions on the ice to make sure that the players were following the guidelines as best as possible. And so, we're certainly see the players pick this up a lot better, and, they're all learning at the same time too. We're going to see the first few weeks of league night at the curling club where teams and players are out there, and it's going to be a little chaotic, until we get comfortable knowing where to go, following a shot, and get into that new ballet we call curling.
That's exactly it. It's the same way we had to all get used to following lines on the ground, standing 6 feet apart in grocery stores. Same thing with curling, but again, it will become more normal the more we do it. And we've got a few guards in play over on the right-hand side, but it is Team Howard sitting 2. This will be John Epping's first rock of the third end. He's hoping to double these up and also spin up in behind those guards. He does.
There goes. Too far.
So close. Just needed to hit that first rock a little thinner. So a chance for Team Howard to sink one in behind the guards. They do also have to keep in mind the potential drag effect on those 2 rocks that are sitting there in the guard position. I believe they're close enough for that. Just want to make sure where they place this rock that doesn't make it easier for John to run it in. And on the flip side, they also don't want to be too deep because then he could still access it with a hack weight, backline weight tap. And the question about masks, you can see all the players wearing them. They have a variety of masks out there. Anyone making sure that they cover their nose and their mouth have a pretty good seal. But other than that, there's you can correct me if I'm wrong here, Jerry, but there's no other further standard. I think we've just seen a lot of the fabric masks as well. You can see John wearing a medical version of the mask.
Yeah, as long as people have their faces covered, that's really what we're concerned about here. I know there's some adjustment players with glasses on having some issues. David Mathers has been having some struggles a little bit. So, the idea is that the more we can spend covered up, the better it is. So, it's we're not asking for perfect. We want everybody to do the absolute best they can. So if we can do that and manage that, then we're going to be able to avoid anything from happening. Because the reason you wear the mask is that if you are sick, it will help prevent you from spreading the virus. Wearing the mask is really negligible as to whether there's any help or not, especially with this kind of setup here. But it's for if somebody is sick and is in the building, then they are minimizing the amount that they're going to spread it.
As you can see, because that rock slipped deep, John was able to come in with that nice weight for a tap. It looks like they are going to try a peel here. So they must be able to see a chunk of this rock. This will be the last rock of the third end.
Picks that out clean. Gets the blank. It hasn't been the most exciting game yet, but both teams playing a little passive. Big game on the line here. Final of the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard. We'll be right back with the fourth end after this break.
Hey guys, we are here at the Summit at King and Bathurst, and this condo complex is crazy. Look, it's got an outdoor pool, it's got 2 barbecues, has an indoor pool, full gym, yoga, workout room. This is truly like being at Club Med. Now, we're bringing this amazing 1-bedroom and den condo unit to market, brand new wood floor, brand new gorgeous kitchen, brand new bathroom, open concept. This building was built about 30 years ago. When they built these condos, they built them for living. So we're almost 700 square feet of open space, floor to ceiling glass, so much room, closets, storage. This is an amazing unit. So go to stusells.ca, look at all these pictures, see the video, and then call me, Stu, and come for your personal tour.
Back here with the fourth end. Looking for some points on the board, Danielle.
They just haven't been able to get something going, either not getting the roll behind the guard or coming a bit too deep.
We've certainly seen these two teams play a little bit more of a conservative game against each other more often in the recent years than they might have in the past.
Yeah.
It's an interesting, battle between these two teams.
Yeah, it certainly is. You've got those former teammates, as you mentioned. Also, Tim March and Pat Jansen, former teammates as well, in addition to Brent and Glenn.
Like, it's one of the things about Team Epping that he has a bit of a reputation of being an aggressive team. Lots of rocks in play and really pushing the level of play. But against Glenn, he tends to keep it a little bit more tighter to the vest here.
You sometimes see that when two teams have a lot of respect for each other and they're trying to just keep it close because they know that's what they need to do. And when you go super offensive, there's a chance you can get a bunch, but there's also a chance you can give up a bunch. And especially when it comes down to a final game, you often see teams take it a little bit more conservatively. Like to say, sometimes the most exciting games that you'll watch are leading up to it, and later round robin games or quarter semis, but once you get to the final, you often see teams just sort of tighten up and take it easy.
Yeah, I think a lot of times if you find teams out there who can find a way to keep that kind of aggression, especially playing under a situation like this where you know everybody's going to be a little bit more conservative, you can kind of really take advantage of that.
Yeah, exactly. They're trying for this roll here. I know, Jerry, you've talked about in other broadcasts too about how difficult a roll can be to get, and that's why we're not quite seeing the teams get it there. But see, this is a tough roll here. Not much air to work with. But if they can get a good chunk of it under, it would be a tough rock to remove. So we'd probably be looking at a run back. This rock is floating out. This is a spot where if you up your weight, it can tend to run. It's like that might have been the case. Big scrub by Ryan, but it's going to hold on the back.
It's now opportunity here for Team Howard with the hammer here in the fourth end.
Talk about which way to come around this guard, and quite often you'd see coming around the other side because then there's less of a chance to leave a double, but in this case, because it curls better going towards the boards, they're electing to take this side so they can get completely buried. And that being said, didn't quite get that finish they were hoping for. Let's open. John calling for the hit and flop.
Wants to roll somewhere in front of that red stone. Will make Glenn's next shot a little bit more difficult.
You can see a good shot of it about 3/4 open.
Pat Jansen on the sweep there for Team Epping. Pat in the lineup for Matt Cam.
Scott Howard is actually a new dad, so congratulations to Scott. New little one at home. I suppose we should also say congratulations to Glenn, Grandpa Glenn.
Oh, yes, of course. You know, just another notch in the old man ledger.
I'll get you for that one after.
Yeah, we all climb that ladder someday, we hope.
So avoid for the jam at the back, and Ryan's playing a double. Again, out in the 12-foot, you up your weight a bit, and you gotta be so precise because any outward movement, and it's just not going to come back. So you see Glenn calling for a round, but I believe they're having a discussion on which way they're going to come around to. See, it's possible to come around the guard both ways, should state that, but there, as mentioned, it is easier when it curls a hair more.
Looking for that draw around those center guard. That center guard.
Oh, and that's the thing. Sometimes you're playing with, when you've got something in your head that it might run a bit straight. Sometimes you play with your release a bit, and you gotta be careful how much you adjust it. This is John's last rock of the fourth. Or sorry, first rock of the fourth. Nice easy wait for that hit, nose. At this point, it looks like Glenn's just happy to potentially get into a blank situation. A little tough to generate two right now.
These two teams have a lot of respect for each other. Battle in the final of the Ontario Provincial Championship last year. Epping winning that game, and then Glenn Howard still advanced to play in the wild card game in Kingston at the Tim Hortons Brier.
Yep.
Howard is 10-0 so far this season coming into this game.
Both fun to watch these two teams out on the ice. They're a bunch of great humans out there. That's for sure. Great competitors, but great off the ice as well. Here, KW's been hosting all of these events, and mainly just at events out there, a couple of teams practicing, but hear from the comments that there's some curling starting back up this week for the club and its members.
Yeah, that's a friend of mine, Brian, curls out of the club here, has played a bit on the Ontario Curling Tour as well. Does a bit of writing on the sport of curling.
We have the last rock coming from Glenn Howard in the fourth end, looking for the blank.
Makes it go away. We'll head to 5, 1-0 Team Epping over Team Howard here in the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard final. We'll be right back.
No matter what speed you're comfortable with, the G50 line has a shoe for you.
That's comfortable and stylish.
When it was time to get his first pair of curling shoes, we went with Goal Line. Now it's time for the G50.
Looks great, but it grips better than anything.
Man, this is a light curling shoe.
These remind me of why I like to play the game.
This is actually the most comfortable curling shoe I have ever owned. It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And it's the choice of champions.
Firehouse Subs has so many delicious quality subs. There's something for everyone. But the one that started it all more than 25 years ago was the Hook and Ladder. Piping hot and piled high with freshly sliced smoked turkey breast, honey ham, melted Monterey Jack, and loaded with the freshest toppings on a toasted roll. Try the Hook and Ladder today to find out why everyone keeps coming back again and again. The Hook and Ladder. One bite and you'll be hooked. Visit firehousesubs.ca to order online.
Glenn Howard. On my rink, we have one rule on the ice: work together as a team. Off the ice, your road safety team works together too. The front end's goal is to keep our roads safe with responsible sales, service, and behavior. The back end ensures that our legislation, enforcement, and campaigning are effective. Thanks for playing your part in keeping Ontario's roads amongst the safest in North America. Visit arrivealive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive, drive sober.
right, back here with the fifth end. Jerry Gertz of Curling Zone, joined by Danielle Inglis here. KW Granite Club, Kitchener-Waterloo, Ontario. But we are not there.
We are cozy in our homes.
Yeah, the wonders of technology. We're able to pick up this great feed from the KW Granite Club. We've got a small but very good team at the club. Evan Seacombe and his production crew. We've got Steven on camera, Jake on switching, putting these pictures together. And then from there, I'm able to take them, turn it into another feed, add in the commentary, the graphics, all of our sponsors and supporters throughout the years, and try and put this together.
Yeah, you guys have been doing a fantastic job, and it's greatly appreciated by both curlers and fans alike. So thank you, Jerry and crew and Stu, for all making this happen. And again, if you'd like to ask us any questions while we're on air here, we love questions, and please feel free to ask in the chat feature on YouTube or in the comment section on Facebook.
I'd also like to throw a shout out to Matt Wilkinson, president of the KW Granite Club. Has really done an amazing job putting this together over the last month or two. We came to the Granite Club after the events in Oakville and High Park were postponed due to later starts there. And it's been amazing working with Matt, and his wife Amanda has been an amazing help. The club, everybody at the facility, the ice crew, you know, they've done an amazing job to make this possible for the curlers as well.
Absolutely. There's a lot of people behind the scenes, all of them who you can't see, and even less these days with COVID and trying to keep everyone safe. Everybody's hiding out in their own little areas.
Yeah, we'd like to recognize a number of the KW Granite's key sponsors. Parkway Ford, JDI Cleaning Systems, Highgate Active Living, Wilfrid Laurier University, Waterloo Brewing. We also have the City of Waterloo, Culligan Water, the Sock Factory, Heidelberg Restaurant and Tavern, and then lastly we have Paradigm Transportation and Paul's Homes. All great supporters of the club, and we've been grateful for the opportunity to be at the club here. I know everybody's tight right now and just trying to find a way to get through this and keep curling going.
The nice part, I spoke with some of the players from last weekend too, and they were saying that they're appreciative of not only getting curling back, but also feeling safe at the club with all the precautions that have gone into it. So that is all very appreciated, and it's great to hear that kind of feedback from the players. More players opted out of this weekend. I think most part in due to it being Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. But, you know, when we first put these events together, the numbers in the province were at a certain level. And, you know, I think for some people the comfort level changed as we got closer to the event. Some other things, we lost a number of teams from Quebec as well. So, yeah, we just, you know, try to make it as easy as possible for people to fit this into their schedule. And if not, then we're perfectly fine with that as well. And then we just put together the schedule with what we had. We still have some great games on the ice, some teams that need to play for more than just fun. You know, when you look at the Howards, the Eppings, Jones is in the same boat. You know, they function on the support of their sponsors. And if they're not playing games, it's difficult for them to get paid. And this is a job for many of these people. So, now the question becomes about at what point do you consider the economics of this as well, and ensuring that the club functions at the same time too. The club needs the revenues from an event like this to be able to survive and get through the year as well. So
yeah, exactly.
It's all a balancing act.
Yeah. Kind of risk versus reward, and some teams are in a position where they have to take more of that risk. Though, speaking of what it takes to get through, we have a comment about the GoFundMe campaign, and hoping to see more. Jerry, if you could link to that in YouTube and Facebook, but also talk about a little bit more about what's going on with that GoFundMe.
Yeah, so one of the things we're working on is trying to put together streaming for future events. The KW Fall Classic is coming up in 2 weeks, and then I believe a junior event may come together in KW here, the Stu Sells Under 21 as well, and we'd love to put those onto the broadcasts and stuff. Now, we've had a couple questions about the ads and the supporters showing. The vast majority of our sponsors this year are supporters of past years, and so we're using this opportunity to kind of feature some of the supporters who have been great to us over the past, and this is funds that goes into the prize purse that was typically part of this event. So this year we are sort of functioning on a shoestring budget. The prize purse is pretty minimal here, but for these teams, a number of the ads that are showing are also from the teams. So, we're just trying to give them a little bit extra coverage so they can capitalize on those great sponsors they do have. So, with what Stu's trying to do, we do have a production team that costs money to come out to these events and do the work each weekend. The equipment that Stu invested in to help bring this streaming out, the cameras and everything here, is a hard cost that he has put his sponsorship towards this year. And now we just are looking for a much smaller amount, about $3,000 a weekend, to try and make something like this work in the short term. So, and the more of this we can do, the more events we can create, and then for the players, the more opportunities that they can get out and show off their sponsors as well.
So we have a lot more offense here going on in the fifth end of play. Team Howard, of course, with the hammer. Be Scott's first rock. Looking to play a little lightweight tap. And right out of the hand tight, you could see Tim picking that up. So Team Epping will continue to sit shot on top button. If they can just squeeze one right in here into the pocket, that'd be ideal. They're even talking about running back the yellow onto the red. They could, even with that run back. It looks like it's pretty tight to the guard. So, I'm calling the guard the rock in the top 12 there. It's a little tight, so they'd have to play some lower weight at that. So see Ryan coming down to have a chat.
Yeah, for Team Epping, this is set up pretty good right now. Like, I don't mind the idea you come down, play the tap, kind of roll inside just a hair to create that lock on that top 4 area. And then you kind of push that yellow stone back onto the button area.
What they're a bit concerned about here is that red rock in the top 12. As you can see, there aren't any guards, and it's a fairly short run back for Team Howard. So
yeah, and if you put that in line there, they might be able to run that straight on, stick it in there, and lie 3.
Exactly. Just to answer other questions, asking about future competitions and what it will look like for Curling Canada competitions. There are still many discussions being had behind the scenes, but rest assured that everything is on the table. Everything is being looked at and evaluated, and there'll be more information forthcoming as soon as possible. But know that Curling Canada is doing everything they can to bring curling back. Not only at the competitive level, but also at the club level.
Just a corner lock on this would be great.
Yeah, that worked out. Took away the run. And also guarded, of course, the rock on the button. Looked like they were indicating looking at the freeze, but of course then you still have to make that perfect, and then you still have to deal with it. Now with those rocks overlapped at the top, you're at least 2 rocks away from getting at anything in the center. I think Glenn was hoping that they'd have enough of that red that they could still catch it and run it back onto the yellow. Yeah, they're looking hard to see if they have enough room to hit that red onto the yellow. Glenn's not looking very convinced though.
Yeah, it's a real tough spot in there.
I mean, we're on Scott's second rock, but Glenn, of course, is thinking ahead, like what is he going to have for his rocks, and it's like he's taking a more aggressive approach and playing the freeze.
Weld something on there to set up a future opportunity.
Very precise shot.
And precise is the result.
Pretty close to perfect.
Yeah, I think that does the job. So what that does now is if Howard was to throw again down that side, he could throw a little bit of weight at that, hit that redstone onto that yellow. So it's created that setup shot. So now Epping has to deal with that. But a guard is something that Howard could still run in. So, you know, it's an interesting scenario as to what the call is here.
It looks like they're playing a tight guard, guarding that situation.
Yep.
It's all about the angles, and though Glenn got a good one there, that's why John's so concerned right now. He's even looking what they appear to be indicating is just tapping that red one back a hair just to change the angle so that they're sitting up front. I actually think that's a pretty good call if they can get to a pinch to the nose or the inside so that they don't disturb their own yellow. And then they're sitting top 4-ish with a wall behind it.
Yeah, if you got to nose, even a foot of weight extra, you could actually rearrange the angles into a pretty good spot for yourself. Because it would click back onto the yellow. little into the open side. And then your shooter would stay right there. Your yellow would still be on the back of the button. All about the line here.
It is. Again, only one sweeper here, but the second sweeper can help judge the weight. This is John's first rock of the fifth end. It's pretty close.
Oh.
Pretty close to perfect there. And actually, that's how they rearrange that angle is great for them.
I think so.
So I'm thinking that no matter what, that red yellow is going to hit the red.
I'd want to see up in the corners a little bit. There we are. Yeah, nothing to run in any angles there at all.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's yeah, those yellows are locked in there.
Well, we spent the first four ends of this game with very few rocks in play and made up for it all at once in the fifth end.
Yeah, everybody in. Yeah, I don't know if there's a shot here for 2 right now for Epping, is there?
For Howard?
Well, Epping is going to have to throw his next shot. Oh, sorry. No, yeah. Epping looking to steal here.
Yeah, he does have, I think he's just trying to, Glenn's just trying to leave something for himself at this point.
Yeah.
Trying to peel
up
it
in
off.
The middle.
This is his first rock. So John will have another shot here, but Glenn needs to remove or move around at least those rocks, 2 rocks in the top 12.
Yeah, keeps that red stone in play. I think the play is here is to tap that yellow. They like to move their back yellow that's on the top of the button there, maybe to the back of the button, frozen with the red at the back.
I think they were looking to see if they tap that yellow, if they would be shot over the other reds on the side 4.
It appears to be the case. It should still have a piece of the 4-foot, even if it goes right to the back red.
And Jerry, it just shows the respect that these teams have for each other. They know the shot-making ability, and they know how precise they need to be and how much these decisions are important.
And we really want to thank everybody for tuning in. We appreciate your support. Anything you can do to help share this would be greatly appreciated. Comments, likes, subscribe to our feed. We'll be able to let you know then when we're coming back next with some more streaming. But the shares especially, anytime we're on, if you were to share it on your Twitter feed, share it on Instagram or on your Facebook page, it certainly helps spread the word and let your friends know that there's curling going on again.
Absolutely. And again, please ask us questions in the comments. We're more than happy to answer. See a question here from Bill Garner and about the masks that players are wearing. Are some switching it out partway? Yes. Some are switching to a dryer mask. The science is saying right now that dryer masks to do a better job. So players are doing that, not only for more protection, but more comfort. Just a reminder, this is John's last rock of the 5th end, but Team Howard does have hammer. John Epping's last rock of the 5th. Team Howard with the hammer. Looks like they're just throwing a guard. Of course, Team Epping sitting shot rock. Team Howard sitting 2 and 3.
So at this point, they like their scenario here. So now Team Howard has to figure out how to score. It looks like if they were to nose hit the yellow right now, that the other yellow might outcount it. Or sorry, the other red might outcount the yellow then on the top.
Yeah, it looks like it, certainly from this angle. Question is being able to get there with enough weight in a bit of a straight spot, though.
Yeah, you're going to have to be able to hit that on the right angle so that you might get some bounce off the back.
Well, they zoomed through the first 4 ends, so they can certainly take their time here. We know the teams aren't on a clock. Not too sure what they're landing on right now. Appears they might be playing a bit of a tap slash. Is this where we're going, Jerry?
I think you need to get that. This is last rock here. So I think the shot is hit this side stone. Like, he must be trying to stuff that in there. Like, just stick it.
Yeah, slashing.
You can do that.
Red.
Like, just paper it.
Yeah. The last rock of the 5th. Oh. Had to play it to almost miss it, but unfortunately just whizzed by, and that's a steal of 1 for Team Epping.
Yeah, hit that much too much of it, you don't make it either. So, you know, it's that was so close and just not quite good enough. We'll head to the 6th end. Team Epping now leads 2-0 over Team Howard here in the championship final of the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard. We'll be right back after these short messages.
Hey guys, we are here at the summit at King & Bathurst, and this Hey guys, I'm so excited about our new listing for the Stu Sells team. We are in our home turf, the Junction, and we are bringing this phenomenal semi to market. It's a corner lot with a huge side yard. It's got 3 bedrooms up, 1 bedroom in the basement, 2 full bathrooms, spectacular brand new hardwood floors, gorgeous kitchen, brand new 2-piece on the main floor, full finished rec room. You can have a family room, home office, above grade windows, nice and bright, separate entrance at the back, This home is awesome. We also have parking in the back. But look, we're in the junction. The sweet potato is just right there. All the stores, funky shops in the junction. And now with Cafe TO, they've all gone out in the streets with really cool patios. So you can go to Noto's patio and have Italian. You can go to the Alpines patio and get some great food. And everything's walking distance. And also, don't forget to give us a call if you want your Stu Says Slow Down sign. Stay safe and scrub your hands and support our frontline workers. So go to stusells.ca. You can see all the photos, the video, and then give me, Stu, a call and come for a personal tour.
Back here for the sixth end, Danielle.
We had a very slow start to this game for both teams. Not too exciting, but we really got things going in the fifth end there, Jerry. All rocks in play pretty much.
Yeah, we're now 2-0 Team Epping, though. He does sneak away with a steal. The chess moves in favor of Team Epping that end.
It's a great end for Team Howard to get their deuce. We'll see the double corner call. Something you're seeing more often as well as the double corner on the same side. Big fan of that. The idea being one of those guards is closer to the house, the other one closer to the hog line. A lot of separation and much harder to double off. At least that's the goal, but it looks like they might be looking for plan B, maybe even here. Both sweepers backing right off this one. Oh, no, that will stop in time. That's where the importance of communication comes in here, though. So you know right off the bat the sweepers need to make a decision on whether you're just going to try to let it come to a rest and sit, or whether you maybe pound it and try to do something else with it, such as coming behind the corner guard.
Pat Jansen throwing second stones for Team Epping. Pat filling in for Matthew Cam this weekend.
I had a question in the comments about one of the other commentators who's been on, Chelsea Carey, and what she's doing for curling next season. Jerry, did she happen to give an update?
Yeah, at this point she hasn't set up anything for four-player curling. Her and Colin Hodgson are mixed doubles partners. They're going to play a couple of events. Some exciting news out of Alberta. Rachel Holman as a title sponsor for a mixed doubles event in St. Paul, Alberta. Yeah, St. Paul, Alberta. I think it's about 2 to 3 hours northeast of Edmonton. And they've got a $19,000 prize purse for a mixed doubles spiel up there.
That's
so,
fantastic.
Extreme Oil Field Mixed Doubles Classic.
Mixed doubles or doubles is really the perfect social distancing event to play in.
Yeah, exactly. You get more space on the ice. There's usually only one sweeper anyways.
You don't often see the two players being able to come together, because if you're playing it properly in the allotted amount of time, you don't have a lot of time to chat with your partner. And you're constantly moving up and down the sheet. So if we have any club curlers out there who haven't tried mixed doubles yet, or your club is looking to fill some more ice time, I would highly suggest trying mixed doubles league. So we've got offense is the best defense here. Team Howard getting a few corners up, Team Epping with a few in the center, but playing the guard just to to keep protecting their 2 rocks in the house, but it looks like this one might have over curled. Could even have fully exposed the rocks in the house.
Yeah, it's opened up again. It looks like you can make a double, roll the shot stone underneath towards the corner guards.
Yeah, you can see there even some air.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be more. It's a little tight. And then the hit and roll the other way, you do roll behind the tight corner on the far side, but the problem is that you likely leave that one yellow stone behind that wall of corner guards there on the right. And you don't really love that either. So maybe on the nose is best here. If you can get it all underneath, you want to do that. Yeah, that worked out really well.
That did.
They threw that with some higher weight so that when they hit it hard, they had a better angle on that stone. And it moved it further, so
Yeah,
really well thrown.
Yeah, nicely buried. A short run back here for Ryan Fry.
So now Epping can't ignore this. They have to make a play here. So now when Glenn goes to throw, he can use those guards now around the middle and just throw a draw around there. It just sort of incrementally improve their situation there. The other option, yeah, they could come around that corner as well. So you just see how to, you know, the small little chess moves that they make to sort of improve their situation there.
It's all about finding the angles, really. As you can see here, it got a good chunk of it buried. They're looking at their options because over on the right-hand side of the sheet, they really ideally would like to get to there. A wide draw in this spot would be pretty tough. No team is thrown out here, and that spot can be precarious on a good day. Could also play the hidden roll off of the side yellow. Now what they're also concerned about is that tight yellow guard right in front of the house, because that's a rock that Team Epping could run in quite easily.
Yeah, that is a problem stone right now for Team Howard.
Room right now. It's okay. Yep. Line only. Line only.
So they are going for the draw.
Curl, Dave. Curl. Go, Dave. Perfect. Go.
That's pretty good.
That shot is a lot tougher than it looks. Reading that with the right weight.
Got it over buried. Honestly, you had to have the right weight out there in order to get that curl. Any more in it or any outside motion, and it would have just run straight and not finished.
A lot of times to get a read on the ice out there, it gets a little frosty and it's slower on the wing, especially that far over.
And as you can see now, I mentioned that short run back, but it's not that easy right now. So you can see John here calling the draw of the top 4, top 8. Question regarding Curling Canada events, thoughts on that as a hub city, be better keeping events as is. What I will say on that is that got people who are very smart people who know the game, who know all the factors that are going into it, making those decisions, and I know I trust them to make the decisions, and so the right decisions and the best that will work for curlers, keep everyone safe and be able to run these events. And you should have the same confidence in them as well.
Yeah, I think so. That's a really good point, Danielle. you know, everybody's trying their best to open the sport, to create opportunities for games, but at the same time, you know, we've got to factor in all considerations here, and every organization, every curling club, they all have different factors into the decisions being made, and everybody's doing the best we can.
So that draw not quite making it to the spot. It's still where they left it. Of course, it's cause for concern for Team Howard because it's in the control zone area.
Which turn?
It's coming with quite a bit of weight.
Looks like they're trying for the double here.
There it is.
Beauty to sit to.
Danielle, a comment in the chat here. A word about Hugh Murphy. He was a great soul, a great supporter of curling. Lost him over the summer as well, and I know you had a tribute of him as well.
Hugh, again, wonderful competitor, but also a wonderful builder of the game. He was from the Toronto area. He played competitively mixed doubles with his wife, Janet. He was a former president of the Toronto Curling Association, and he was instrumental in bringing the inaugural TCA mixed doubles event. So in honor of Hugh, the TCA has renamed the mixed doubles event to the TCA Hugh Murphy Mixed Doubles. And that's set hopefully safely to be played in the new year, but our thoughts with the Murphy family. Such a loss for the game, but his memory lives on, and we'll do our very best to continue remembering him and all the good work he's done for the game.
Yeah, I think that's an amazing tribute to Danielle. It is fitting for somebody like Hugh.
We got the Epping played the run, caught it, but also rolled out. So Howard has the opportunity here to sink another one in, sit 2 behind the guard. They're really turning up the dial, and I feel like both teams are really dialing in right now, and we're seeing the teams with more confidence in the ice, and you can tell based on the shots they're making and the shots they're calling.
Yeah, I agree. We're throwing the idea of hosting a Briar and PEI as a hub idea for Danielle.
Can we just host all curling events at PEI? I wouldn't mind being there right now with their COVID numbers.
Yeah, not such a bad idea.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm not sure they'll let us in, though.
True, maybe none of it. Will they take us? I like their numbers even better.
Yeah. We'll go by dog sled. That way we'll have, it'll take 14 days to get there. By the time we're there, we'll know whether we're clear or not.
And a nice draw around the guard here, but though it got buried, the issue is that it went a few feet too deep, and now John has an opportunity to get out of this end. If they can, the Epping team can freeze one right onto that red one, they can even sit shot here. And frozen to it shot would be perfect. A few inches ahead would also work.
Aggressive call here by Team Epping.
You need to get to the center line to get that finish. And here it goes.
Oh, this is going to be real good.
Now that's a beauty. Looks like he's calling the run on yellow onto yellow. Question, does Glenn Howard have the most stable delivery in the game now? But he does have a very stable and smooth delivery. It is a thing of beauty to watch.
Run back, maybe sliver it by. The shot. Oh, so close. Glenn Howard does get one out of that. So it'll be 2-1 now. Epping will hold the lead heading into the 7th end here. Stu Sells Toronto Tankard men's final here from the KW Granite Club. We'll be right back after this short break.
When I sweep with the Gold Line Fiber Light, I feel like I'm sweeping on TV.
That's life. More surface area, better results.
It's that easy.
It's that easy.
You need to sweep for weight? You need to sweep with this.
Now, every time I curl, people ask me, what are you sweeping with?
What are you sweeping with?
What are you sweeping with?
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And it's the choice of champions.
Glenn Howard here. I'm a proud beer store manager, one of 7,000 hardworking employees. There's been a lot of talk lately about putting beer in the corner stores. So let's talk about the beer store. We keep prices down with our efficient distribution system. We check IDs, keeping beer out of the hands of minors. We take back and recycle 87% of beer containers sold in Ontario. And we love what we do. I'm proud to say when it comes to selling beer, the beer store does it the best.
Firehouse Subs has so many delicious quality subs. There's something for everyone. But the one that started it all more than 25 years ago was the Hook and Ladder. Piping hot and piled high with freshly sliced smoked turkey breast, honey ham, melted Monterey Jack, and loaded with the freshest toppings on a toasted roll. Try the Hook and Ladder today to find out why everyone keeps coming back again and again. The Hook and Ladder. One bite and you'll be hooked. Visit firehousesubs.ca to order online.
Back here inside the KW Granite Club. My name is Jerry Gertz of curlingzone.com, joined by Danielle Inglis for this men's championship final.
Pleasure to be back.
It's been a busy 3 weekends, Danielle.
Certainly has. I feel like you guys have been just working around the clock to try to make this happen. So thank you for all the work you and your team has done to bring this stream to people around the world.
I think the biggest shout out really needs to go to Matt at the KW Granite Club. He's been working endlessly. He's been at the club all weekend long. We got him managed to get him a couple of breaks this weekend, but I know this definitely wouldn't have come together without his work, and I certainly hope the club realizes the person they have there who's really putting in a ton of work to make sure that this will be successful and generate some revenue for the club at the same time too.
Much appreciated for the KW Granite Club opening their ice up for all the players. It's some of the first ice we have in Ontario. So for a lot of these players, it's their first some of them their first time on the ice this weekend, or first time on the ice in the past 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, it's been a while since the pandemic shut it all down, and access to curling ice has been pretty limited so far in Ontario.
Strange to think about the timing. Usually curling 8 months a year or so and off 4, and it's looking more like curl 4 off 8. Well, it's been off 8 so far, almost.
Yeah.
But I think I said this in the last broadcast too, that has some benefits, just being able to rest mentally and physically. We saw how well that worked out for the golfers, the professional golfers this year, having some of the best games out there.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've seen a lot of players and teams out here making it look like they never stepped off the ice.
Yeah, we're certainly still seeing some of that. But I think when you start looking at it, it really comes down to consistency. You know, the more they practice, the sharper they get, the more often they, succeed. And so every once in a while you see a mistake creep in, right?
For sure. And everyone at this point in the season is still working with adapting to the new, I won't say the new version of curling, but the new rules that they're abiding by. One sweeper, distancing, communication changes. But all in all, I think they seem to be adapting fairly well given all the circumstances. So 7th end, Team Howard was not able to pick up their deuce. A great shot by Glenn to get the single. So it looks like they're setting up here trying to go for a steal.
Yep, need to find a way to put some pressure on Epping, keep enough rocks in play, and make sure something goes on the scoreboard here. Worst for Howard would be a steal, or sorry, a blank end. So a force to a single point would be an acceptable result for sure for Howard. And obviously, if they could get the steal here, they would love that too.
Looks like the call here is to come and nestle one right up against the yellow. Try to make sure it's a pretty precise shot. Don't really want to tap this one. Try to keep it there for backing. Big scrub pretty early. It's looking like it will be close on weight. And that's perfect.
Really well played shot.
Team Epping here with the hammer. Ryan Fry. And nice way to throw the tap the red right out of the rings and roll over.
That roll activates this double now too to remove the redstone. You can come off that yellow. So kind of 2 shots in 1 there.
Yeah, it really does. So now Glenn's got to be concerned about that. Now they would have loved anywhere else at rock stop pretty much. It they would have just come in and drawn, but now they're going to have a conversation about that because that rock is so dangerous. They're talking about potential, even if they corner freeze, that in off the yellow onto the red is still there. They're talking about making a play off of the yellow potentially before they can, but it's not really the most ideal situation when it rolls over.
The other option, what if you nose to hit the yellow? Maybe rolled a half rock in?
It's not
Makes
bad.
that double a lot more difficult.
Yeah, then you would see John play the slash double, and then Glenn would have the ability to draw in around behind with a clean house. Yeah. We don't
That
have a
slash isn't a gimme either, though. If you're like nose or just a half stone in, it's still on a leaves enough of a gap there. I don't think that's a gimme throw that John does that for sure either. He probably just tries to hit and roll on top.
That's what you've got to be concerned about. Not only what shot you're making yourself, but you've got to think those few shots ahead. So if I do this, what do they do? And then they do that, what happens to us? And especially, again, it goes back to the respect that the teams have for each other. You've always got to call a shot thinking and knowing the other team will make it. Looks like they're talking about the guard.
Exciting news, we just broke 1,000 concurrent viewers on YouTube.
Hey!
That's a pretty big benchmark there.
Hey, thank you everyone out there for watching.
Yeah, we certainly appreciate having everyone tune in. Almost 900 now on Facebook as well. Just like to give everyone a chance following along. Please be sure to subscribe to our channels. Follow us, like us on Curling Zone. Just click on the notification button on Facebook. On YouTube, it's the subscribe button and the bell there. I'll let you know when we're back again next. And we're also trying to add more content to interviews, features, getting behind the stories in curling world right now too. So now that these events have run through, we're looking to get into some more of those stories again coming up.
I would have liked to have seen that guard wider, because now that in off we were talking about off the yellow still appears to be there. Yellow onto red. Again, team Epping with the hammer. John's also been looking at it. His first instinct seemed to be the freeze on the red perhaps, and locking it a bit at the back and locking that yellow one. They're looking to set up shots too here. That freeze by Scott was pretty key, as you can tell.
Got a shout out from Scott Zachary of New Scotland Clothing Company, also New Scotland Brewery. Clothes and beer. Got it all sorted out down there in Halifax, don't they?
They sure do. Scott's a great guy as well. Great competitor too.
So Scott has offered up a giveaway. So what I'd like to do, to sure he's got some sort of a shirt or sweater available. What I'd like people to do in order to win, that'd be the first person who can accomplish this. Head over to New Scotland's social media pages or their website, copy a photo, paste it into the chat section on Facebook, and we win a prize. Quick little contest here.
Fantastic.
Get those Google fingers going. A hoodie and a shirt, he says. He's got a giveaway for. So, first two.
And it's nice clothing too, I'll add. Speaking of nice, that was a beauty freeze there. That Howard Rock is looking a little lonely right now. Quick stretch for Skipper.
It looks like it might not be able to post images. If not, just post a link to the social media piece or the item that you like, something off their website. So that'll do. Peeling that away.
Yeah, peeling it away so it's just not usable. And now you can see that that rock is sandwiched in there. Which is also why I was surprised they didn't try a little tap to loosen the back on that freeze they had.
Or you just throw like back and try and get it to stay on it.
Yeah, solid back eight. Just give me a hair mark.
Lots of comments in already, Jerry.
Yeah, some good stuff in there. Looks like we've got a couple of winners already. What do you think? Michelle Gower, she didn't go to an item, but she posted the website link. I'll take that. Close enough.
Okay, that's got everything on it.
Yeah.
It's acceptable to like everything that New Scotland has.
And Keith Perry went with the brewery option.
Right now you're seeing John come in here and unlocking that back shot, and that was great. Look at the angle they got on that.
I think Keith's just throwing a shout out to the Tuesday night music night at New Scotland Brewing. That's awesome to see. So we'll go Derek Lung as well for a prize win here. So Scott's floating around in there. I'll get him to get in touch with Michelle Gower and Derek Lung.
So this is Team Howard's last rock of the seventh. Team Epping with hammer. And that is one lonely looking Howard stone in there. I think they're trying to see if there's some sort of a hole or an angle. It looks like they're trying some sort of a guard here, probably guarding a potential run back from Team Epping. You can be able to see the rocks that are out front. And that'll do it. That was the concern. That red rock you could see there was the easiest run in. It's like that red above the house might be a run in, but the fact that John didn't just immediately run up there and slam his broom down suggests that might be a little bit tougher.
Yeah, you know what the consideration is here is Epping doesn't mind being tied with hammer coming home. So a steal of 1 here is an acceptable result. You just want to make sure you don't turn it into something worse. Though at the same time here, the angles do line up. They could win the game with a good shot here too.
Well, and there's the debate right there, but it's not an easy one. It appears, I think they're looking at that high guard to see if it's possible to run it through the hole into those rocks you can see in the top 4. No shot here is easy, but like you mentioned, Jerry, even if Epping gives up a steal of 1, coming home tied with the hammer is a pretty good position to be in. But John does like a big shot. I mean, if there, yeah, and you know what? There doesn't seem to be much risk here. I don't even know if you could get unlucky and ever give up 2. Looks like you could either try for that shot and get potentially 3, or give up a steal. 1's not bad here either.
If we hear this red on the right with back line, you don't think it touches our yellow enough?
Third makes time. Run the red in.
Things sometimes look different though when you get in the hack. It appears that John doesn't seem overly convinced right at this moment. But you want to make absolutely sure by the time you're going to throw the rock that you 100% have that shot in your head and you're ready to throw. And here we go, last rock of the 7th end, Team Epping. It will crash and be a steal of 1 for Team Howard.
All right, here we go, heading to the 8th end. All even at 2. We'll be right back after these short messages.
Hey guys, welcome to the Stu Sells brand new listing, and we are in Liberty Village. So if you're a young executive and you want to have a great time and be close to your office, then you got to come here to Liberty Village. There's so much going on here. It's got great restaurants, great shops, bars, so much to do. You're close to the lake if you want to go down on the bike path and bike wherever you want. There's parks nearby, and it's a fun little area here in Liberty Village. It's really chic and it's hip, and this unit is spectacular. It is a 1-bedroom, perfect for a single person. It's got a large balcony. It goes the full length of the unit, and you can see the lake, and you can watch out at the whole Liberty Village because you're on the 16th floor. We have pool, gym, party rooms. This is like Club Med down here. So look, go to stusells.ca, look at all the pictures and videos, and then give me Stu a call and I'll come and take you for a tour.
Back here for the 8th end. All even, Danielle.
Yeah, coming down to the wire, and it's been a great back half of the game. Lots of rocks in play.
That the voice you hear of Danielle Inglis. Done a number of Sportsnet events before. Great to have you again here, Danielle. Thanks again for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It's been a blast. It's been a blast interacting with people on the chats as well. Great to see everyone out watching and supporting curlers and supporting Curling Zone as well. You guys are doing some great things. And that's not just my biased opinion because you asked me to.
Take whatever I can get, Danielle.
And I'll give you guys a plug that if you're looking for any of the tour events that are out there, check out Curling Zone. It has a list of all the events that are upcoming, as well as the line scores, the teams playing in, the schedules.
Yeah, working best to keep the schedule updated. A lot of uncertainty out there. There's one event I got to move back. The Steel Cup in Fredericton, I guess, was been postponed, I heard, last night. So
Team Epping with the hammer. It's like they're trying to play a tick here on the center line, Howard Stone. And perfect. I think they even got a corner guard out of that guard, the rock in the rings.
yeah, this is what makes being tied without hammer so difficult at this level. They don't miss those tick shots very often.
No, I mean with the amount of manipulation that sweeping can do, especially at the top level with such great sweepers, I won't say all you have to do, but all you have to do is throw the rock approximately at the broom with approximately the right weight, and let the line and the weight judgment do its thing.
Yeah, it's really what it is. It's a process shot. You know, if you want to be a great lead in the game, perfect that shot, and that shot is throwing back 12 weight and just leaving it right on the center line when you split the back 12 with your shot. Just get you that feel to throw that right weight, so you just need to slide and hit that broom, and you're going to make the tick shot if the rock's in the way when your rock goes by.
See, they're going to put up a center line guard, but you saw Glenn indicate that I want it to be a little bit off center. The idea here being not putting the rock back in the exact same spot for Epping to peel, and also hoping that there could potentially be some sort of jam when they do go to peel it. I see a question in the chat here about asking about spinning the rocks before they throw. Two reasons. One, it's just part of every player has a pre-shot routine that they go over in their head, positive words of affirmation, thinking about what they have to do with the shot, and that's those physical parts of it are part of it. The second part is that rocks made of granite, they do have little, for lack of a better word, holes underneath them. So when you spin it around a bit, there's the ice tends to fill them in a bit, and you have an even smoother surface. That's just a very baseline, non-scientific answer for you. But there actually are purposes behind things people do, and it helps with their performance. I mean, the biggest part is just getting mentally prepared to throw a shot. It also helps that if you've cleaned off your stone, especially if you used your hand, it does warm it up a bit. So putting it back on the ice, spinning it, cools it down. We'll just see a little bit of Groundhog Day here. Team Howard putting back up the guard that Team Epping peeled.
Guard and peel, trade-off shots. You kind of want to waste a few for now.
Team Howard has a few rocks to play with. Of course, they're just sort of hoping at this point that the Epping team is going to miss a peel and they can put one in behind. But this level, realistically, the chances of that happening are pretty slim. So Team Howard making the move right now.
What's the corner freeze on the yellow stone?
Where is it? The top 4.
Wants to have the right weight, so he has perfect depth here. Then you'll see Epping peel the high guard. And then you'll see Howard try and use this frozen pair of stones kind of as a guard and draw one on the tee line. As close to the middle as possible with it buried a little bit.
What's there? What's there? Whoa, 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 whoa! Back to him. No, actually, it's good. Line's really good. Stop. No.
Good looking line right now. Just needed to hit the brakes.
Yeah, there it is. Has shot. Yeah, Epping was looking at the draw there, but I think Glenn would love that.
I mean, generally, more rocks in play works when you're trying to steal an end. So if you ever don't make that shot perfect, then work to the opposition's advantage. As you could see, that long shot there really gave you a good picture of what it looks like from the other end.
Yeah. So peeling the guard. It's going to leave Glenn. He'll either draw to the open side. He'll probably think about corner of the forefoot there. If he wants to entice Epping into a hit. If he wants Epping to draw for sure, he'll try and get it as close to the button as possible using those other 2 stones there and maybe create an angle. So again, he'll throw it in the middle for now, try and waste a shot.
Glenn already in the hack area. And this is a good looking sheet right now for Team Epping, wide open, and Team Howard is just really hoping for a miss at this point.
They're throwing up a guard. Like Epping kind of has to peel that.
He does. He just has to be careful about the other rocks you see at the side there.
Yeah.
Not jamming and rolling in anywhere.
So Howard knows this. So this is why he threw the guard, because Epping is going to peel it. And so now the next shot, Glenn is going to do what? What do you think?
I'd say he would be drawing it somewhere in the rings over at the other side and forcing him to throw a cold draw to the 4.
So you think he's going edge of 4 maybe here?
Oh, and here's that jam they were worried about. Again, the only person who could sweep there was the original sweeper of the shot.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Now what?
It changes things. I think who do we have here is shot?
Yellow is shot.
Yellow
Epping.
shot.
So, that is unfortunate for Howard, because in order to sit 2 now, Glenn has to make a play over there.
Right, and sorry, when you asked me before, I assumed that Howard was shot.
Yeah, and he was before.
Yeah, so...
So, yeah, we're not assuming this outcome. So, plan's out the window. Next plan.
We're looking at some sort of a tap or a run. I believe that rock's in at the back there too.
It is too, so you could lie 3. So
Either
it looks
way,
like they're going to throw a raise here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, either way, you're going to see John make a call for a draw.
Yeah, most
Or,
likely.
but if you make this run, so comes back to call the shot, make the shot, and then force John into something tough. Wouldn't be bad if they could stick the shooter and maybe even roll the shooter a hair towards the center. That's splitting hairs there. In the end, just make the shot, make the yellow go away, and keep your rocks in the rings.
Yeah, make them draw against 2. Make Epping have to throw something. Makes contact. Just a little bit down, it sounds like. I think that was the comment.
And
so Howard does lie 2, but John's not concerned about this hit at all.
That's an open nose hit for the win.
Just have some questions about next curling. Just pay attention to Curling Zone. We're working on some coverage of the Saskatchewan Super Series coming up next weekend. I believe USA Curling is putting together something as well from Chaska, Minnesota. We'll have some announcements as to curling coming up. Here, John Epping, last stone, 8th end tie game. Looking for the point to score and win the title here at the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard. Cleans it in, and there it is. John Epping will win 3-2 here at the KW Granite Club. Danielle, really thankful for you coming on board and joining us and helping finish off the day here. Room slaps all around.
Thanks so much for having me, Jerry, and congratulations, Team Epping.
Congratulations to Team Epping, to Team Lauren Mann winning the women's final earlier this evening, this afternoon, whatever day and time it is right now, I do not know anymore. But this will be it from the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard. We're working on future plans for curling. We'll do our best and keep everybody updated on what's to come. Again, thanks for tuning in. I'm looking forward to talking to everyone again very soon.
No matter what speed you're comfortable with, the G50 line has a shoe for you.
That's comfortable and stylish.
When it was time to get his first pair of curling shoes, we went with Goal Line. Now it's time for the G50.
Looks great, but it grips better than anything.
Man, this is a light curling shoe.
These remind me of why I like to play the game.
This is actually the most comfortable curling shoe I have ever owned. It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And it's the choice of champions.
Firehouse Subs has so many delicious quality subs. There's something for everyone. But the one that started it all more than 25 years ago was the Hook and Ladder. Piping hot and piled high with freshly sliced smoked turkey breast, honey ham, melted Monterey Jack, and loaded with the freshest toppings on a toasted roll. Try the Hook and Ladder today to find out why everyone keeps coming back again and again. The Hook and Ladder. One bite and you'll be hooked. Visit firehousesubs.ca to order online.
Hi.
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 I'm Sean Chang.
My name is Chris.
Hi, I'm Phil Hanna.
And I'm an RBC mortgage specialist.
I can meet you where you work, where you live, or halfway across town. Unia Mortgage Specialist.
You can find us anywhere, from here
to here,
and even way over here.
But what is a mortgage specialist?
And what does a mortgage specialist do?
What does a mortgage specialist do?
What does a mortgage specialist do?
Well, to start, We understand our communities.
Whether you live in Little Portugal
Or run and operate a store in Bloor West Village.
We want to understand you. We take the time to get to know each and every one of our clients.
Because we all have unique circumstances.
And we would love to get to know yours.
So, let's meet at your closest branch.
Or maybe over a cup of coffee.
So we can understand what matters to you.
We're here to support you.
And we never,
Ever.
ever leave our clients behind.
Whether you're buying your first home
Or your fifth.
or even when you're looking to build your dream home.
We bring our deep understanding of the real estate landscape and our communities.
Together, under the one team of RBC.
Para melhor atender você.
Because our goal is to help you achieve yours.
Our goal is to help you achieve yours.
And we'll work tirelessly to make your dream home a reality.
To make your dream home a reality.
Your goals and dreams deserve an expert. Come and see an RBC mortgage specialist today, where we won't leave a client behind.
Hey guys, welcome to the Stu Sells brand new listing, and we are in Liberty Village. So if you're a young executive and you want to have a great time and be close to your office, then you got to come here to Liberty Village. There's so much going on here. It's got great restaurants, great shops, bars, so much to do. You're close to the lake if you want to go down on the bike path and bike wherever you want. There's parks nearby, and it's a fun little area here in Liberty Village. It's really chic and it's hip, and this unit is spectacular. It is a 1-bedroom, perfect for a single person. It's got a large balcony. It goes the full length of the unit, and you can see the lake, and you can watch out at the whole Liberty Village because you're on the 16th floor. We have pool, gym, party rooms. This is like Club Med down here. So look, go to stusells.ca, look at all the pictures and videos, and then give me Stu a call and I'll come and take you for a tour.
Thanks, Jerry.